Men pay all the bills. Bad investment for women? Maybe. We had a conversation last week, Thursday, about 100% of providers get cheated on the most. That was last week, Thursday's conversation. Well, Ephraim was there as well. I think I don't remember Grizz popped into that conversation, but people believe if you get cheated on the most, you pay 100% of the bills, you get dogged the most. We already did the studies. If you pay at least 70% of the bills, there's a possibility you will get cheated on. Men who pay all the bills, women cheat 5% more. Women who pay all the bills, men cheat 15% more. But the commonality is going to always come down to lack of trust in a relationship. There's always going to be some internal conflict of why you cheat. It has nothing to do with who pays the most bill. It has everything to do with you as an individual. What is going on with you that makes you think it is okay to cheat, whether this person chips in a little bit or a whole lot? Doesn't make a damn difference. So this is what this room is. Shout out to Content. He's the one that inspired this room, now that I think about it. Because Thursday was gender neutral. This one's a little bit gender specific. Do I need to make it gender neutral? We'll see. Harriet, who was in here, because she kind of chimed in on this, and she actually gave me the key, better key for this conversation. She was in a situation where a man was expecting a lot out of her. This is what you need to do in a relationship. She was down with it. The problem is that shit was not reciprocated. And his take was, I pay all the bills. I pay all of this. I don't have to deal with none of that shit you're talking about. So now we gotta ask. If the man is paying 100% of the bills, do women find that to be a good investment or a bad investment? Because the pro to this is you ain't gotta reach in your pockets to take care of the house. Where the bad news is, he believes, especially this example that Harriet gave, he believes that if I pay all the bills, you really don't have, this is a one-sided relationship. I have a position for you to play, you will play it, and that is it, as long as I'm paying all the bills. So now we gotta ask to the women, is paying 100%, is dealing with men who pay all the bills, is that a bad investment? What about the guys that you dogged out or talked down for who said they want to chime in half, who want to chip in and do 50-50? Because at least you have one hand on the wheel. Whereas if you have no hands on the wheel, you don't have a say-so in the matter. So which one is a good investment? Which one is a bad investment? Is the question that I want to have today. Do you guys still think 100% of the bill needs to be paid? Or is women willing to actually do this 50-50 thing to not be put in a compromised position, depending on who they select as a significant other? To the audience on stage, the floor is yours. What do you think about that?
I think it's an amazing investment for the guy, especially if he's not married and he's paying for everything, because he can just walk away.
My bad, I had to turn off my AC because I was kind of loud on my end. Afro, you said it was a good investment for the guy?
Yeah, because he can just walk away if he don't like the situation no more, because he was paying 100%, but that's good to him, especially if he's not married.
Okay. We can agree that that's good for him because he's using leverage over her head. Now, what about the women? How do they get, how can this be an equal moment or equal benefit for them?
How can it be equal if it's 100-0?
Say that again?
Equal if it's 100-0. It's not. Since it's not, since it's 100-0, it's not equal. And if it's 100-0, the person putting in 100 can easily just walk away at any time.
Zoe, okay, hold on real quick. Zoe, you had something you wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I think how it's. Are we talking about bad investment for women, or I could just speak on it?
You can speak on what, however
Yeah,
you see the topic, the title.
I
You can
think
speak on
him
how.
paying all the bills. Yeah, him paying all the bills is fine. No woman should move in with a man unless he puts you on the deed of the property you're staying in. Um, if you're not on the deed, at any moment he could pull the rug. But if you with your name on a deed, you get equity. Um, you he's doing pretty much a lot of the investing. But since you're on the deed, when y'all sell the house, it's split it up. So if a woman plays it like that, you move into what he bought, and he puts your name on the deed, and then y'all split down the middle because if shit goes left. Yeah, I don't want to move in with no man, period. Until like, cause I lived with a man already when we was engaged, and then we didn't end up getting married. So like, I don't want to move in with no man in no house of his own. Like when we moved, me and my child father, we got where I live now. The condo that I live in now was owned by both of us previously. So I think that's fair. I think like you should move into a new place with the person and both of y'all names be on everything. I don't want to live nowhere where you was fucking a bitch on the mattress I'm not laying on. I don't want for me to be going to the shower and I'm feeling like you fucked some next bitch in. Like I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry. If that make me bougie or difficult, then so be it. I don't want to be nowhere no next bitch was. Like, can we get a new place? The fuck? I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry. Saying when you pay 100% risk, it's easy to walk away, right? So I think men should totally pay 100%. Yeah, and women should only move in if he puts your name on it. Also, just like his name is on it. Yep. No, but she's not paying anything, so her name can't be on it. That's the whole point. No, no, you could add people's names. No, he shouldn't do that. But he can, and she should only move in if he adds you on whatever paperwork. Mm-hmm. It's like y'all so now if we show each side that y'all stand on, it's like talk that he's gonna say with any type of relationship, right? I don't think I don't think me paying all the bills means that I would do that just so I can walk away from it. Look, I mean, y'all saw shit at this point. What's the point of the relationship around this motherfucker? Like, do I think that you should just move in? A woman should move in with a man? Yeah, I don't see the worst thing about that. That's not a recurring thing that men just dump women and put them out their house. That's vice versa. Like, let's not project on that aspect, right? Like, we have to be honest. Usually, men who move in with women get treated a certain way because ultimately, naturally, women don't feel like they should be taking care of men or they shouldn't shoulder the load. We get it, and that's cool. That's how it is, right? But you say, oh, man, you put you like that, that's not gonna happen. Do I think that you as a man just walk away because you're paying 100%? Like, why would I want to be paying 100% investing off my money then just walk away and my shit go down the drain? Like, it just makes no sense. I don't think that it is or it ain't on the investment aspect of it. Like, that's a bad investment. And I mean, it's according to who you dealing with, right? Like nobody. It seems like, as you can see in the argument, the debate already, nobody really wants to give up or relinquish any power to anybody. It's an automatic. It's an automatic first. The first aspect of it, thinking of it, is to be like, oh no, I want to protect my ass. I want not even protect my ass. That's not the word. It's like I'm preparing for it to end. Like, man, y'all, that shit sound like we are wasting our time. This sounds like a bad investment, period. Like, it's a pointless investment. I think a lot of times when we talk about who gets cheated on and relinquished, if a woman paying most of the bills, like Bro said, 70% of the bills, she ended up getting cheated on because probably she's taking care of a man that ain't got shit going and she paying all the bills, most of the bills. That means he got more time on his hands to do stupid shit. And if a man's paying all the bills and a woman cheating on you, that's probably because he probably in his mind he thinks that he can really he needs to do everything possible to make this woman happy. women ultimately don't ever respect that shit. So that shit always works against you as a man. It's just I don't know though. Y'all got wild ways to
Grizz,
think of relationships.
Grizz, when you buy a plot of land and build a home, are you the only one going to be living in it by yourself?
If I buy a plot of land and a home, am I moving? I don't know if I'm moving in it by myself. I mean, I don't know.
Most of the time, men are trying to put people that they're going to live with somebody in that home. So the, this is how it should be. You move into the home of the man. That's it, and that's your woman. That's all she is to you. Your woman is your house. You know, and that's it. It's your house. So even if she died, you should be able to take care of all the bills up in your home.
Yeah, I'm not debating it. What's the conversation? Man, we kind of far gone. It's
No,
kind
we're
of.
not.
Yeah,
Right on the money. We right on the money.
yeah. I don't think y'all. I think y'all took it and y'all went totally opposite directions of what we was talking about. But I don't think that you should not put your woman on it. But how you sounded, it was like, oh yeah, you should put it. You kind of almost sound like you're trying to get over her in the situation, and it's cool. I believe in. I mean, when I buy a crib, because I'm not big on buying a crib. I stay in a house. I own other stuff, right? And I rent my shit out. I pay for mine, but rent for mine, but whatever. But my woman, of course, she goes on it. This is a team effort with me and her. Of course, we're gonna do it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not promoting some man to meet a woman and me to just move her in and put her on this shit. Like, nah, I don't promote men and women to do stupid shit that's gonna get them in a jam.
The government pays attention. That's why we have common law marriages. Regardless of y'all wanting to be married or not, the government is going to literally see y'all as married if she's been living in your home. So she's going to have legal rights because she's been with you in that home for maybe 10 years, 8 years. Now you guys are common law. So y'all got to be watching out for that.
How many states? How many states do common law? Because I'm under the impression it was 8.
I'm in Florida, and I know a common law
Texas does it too.
and then they got really married.
I think 10 years is crazy.
10 years. 10 years for what?
Chris?
Hello. She was saying being 10 somebody and they not married.
Oh no, 6 months. It's 6 months. Well, at least in Texas, it's 6 months.
Chris, remember my model. Let the man pay for everything. If she wants to renegotiate that, she's free to. But he's paying for everything. If it doesn't go the way he likes, he can just walk away. No harm, no foul.
Crazy.
Well,
that's a good investment right there.
And heads up, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Texas, DC. States with limited or past recognition: New Hampshire, South Carolina, Utah. Grandfather states: Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, Ohio, Pennsylvania. And that is it. Those are the only states that are common law to some.
You said Florida?
Florida's not on the list.
I think Texas actually got rid of that 6 month shit. They just made it simply. I think it's like 3 or 4 conditions, 2 of which you have to either refer to each other as husband and wife or tell people that you're intended to be married. And you have to live together. I'm not sure what the other 2 are, but I think Texas actually got rid of that 6 month shit.
I'll look more into that.
What do you think of my model? What do you think of?
Pretty much a renewal.
No. I'm saying that he pays for everything, and he can walk away. Now, she wants to renegotiate and take it from 100 to 0. That's okay. But if it's 100 to 0, then he gets to walk away.
Well, with that model, Ephraim, he has all leverage, regardless. Because you say if you want a renewal, the renewal is what? She pays 100 and he pays 0?
No, I mean, that's not. I mean, I'm saying you can renegotiate, and it doesn't have to be to the other extreme. But if it's as long as it's in one extreme the other way, then the person that's taking on all the risk, he gets to walk away at any time.
That seems reasonable.
Well, yeah, regarding renegotiate or not, he can walk away either way, and he don't even have to negotiate. He can just say, "Okay, I'm tired of this. I'm out." With however long that determine that relationship is.
It's 2026, right? I think people should just do what works for them. Um, I say it all the time. The longest relationship I can think of is my godfather's relationship. And it's actually probably the standard at which I kind of set relationships at this point in time because they're not married in a traditional sense. Like they get a little ceremony with it was 20 people from her side, 20 people from his side. Um, and they made their little vows to each other in front of family and friends, but they never did a traditional marriage. Like they committed to each other in front of family and friends. And them niggas been together since I was a baby, since before I was born, actually. But that ceremony happened when I was like 6, so I barely remember it. But shit, they got the houses, the cars. She got her little law firm. I would call it a little law firm because that's a major fucking accomplishment. But she got her law firm. He retired from the fucking He retired from the military. I think it was Air Force. Yeah, he retired Air Force and still does government projects. Like he runs a project out in Virginia for shit, whatever the Air Force, whatever the Navy base is out there, not the Air Force base, the Navy base. I forgot which one it is. The one in Hampton. But that makes me like he runs his shit out there. But shit, again, they're not married in the sense you would think. Like, but everything that they've done, they've gone through the proper channels to make sure everything flows the way it's supposed to go. She gets to make every single decision that that would be important to make if he's not able to make it, and vice versa. If she's not able to make a decision, he gets to say something. Like there's ways to do this shit. People just don't. People don't like doing the research. And the reason I call it the more perfect relationship is because they've never. I don't know what goes on behind the closed doors, but from what I've seen and from what I know, neither one of them got no outside babies. They neither one of them ever cheated. There ain't been no domestic violence between them two. Like their kids taken care of. Their kids never been in any type of trouble. I think one of them is getting ready to two of them actually getting ready to retire from the military. One of them is in law school. They actually just had their fifth child last year. Like that's the most perfect relationship. I wouldn't even call it perfect. That's the best relationship I could think about. And they not even married. Like in a traditional, I ain't even call it traditional. In the sense that most of us would think about.
That's the fun. You know the model.
Langley, that's the one. Daryl Langley. No, no, is it Langley? No, Langley's the Air Force base. This one is the Navy base.
Annapolis.
Um,
Fair enough.
I know somebody out there. They probably know. Efren, what's up?
I'm just gonna say, you know how like in the NFL, um, it, you could be like a quarterback, and when you won the MVP 3 times and you won a Super Bowl. But what does the coach do to light a fire under you after your third MVP? They draft the quarterback to make you even work harder. People move on incentives. So I just think it's best to like always kind of keep the fire under somebody. Hey, yeah, he's paying 100%, but he could walk away at any time. Now, you can renegotiate, or you got to play by his rules. Simple as that.
I don't think. Oh Jesus, that's a
Come over
terrible.
to the dark side, Chris. Come
That
over to
is
the dark side. Come on.
terrible.
Come
I
on, Chris. You
think
know you
that
like the dark side. You know you
I
like the dark
am
side.
not acknowledging that. I'm gonna keep it pushing.
Sure, you'll start thinking like me. Watch.
I don't know about that one. Let me quick reset. This is the BTSI show. I'm your host, Christopher J. We are broadcasting live from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Clubhouse. Thank you guys for tuning in. Title is Man Pays All the Bills, Bad Investment for Women. Now, with everything that I just heard, so I guess to the women who is in the room, those who are listening on replay, and those who's watching, when they bring up these 50-50 conversation, and I've been telling people I haven't heard, but only a handful of people actually have the right um, context when it comes to this conversation of 50-50. How it's not only about money, it's about everything else. So when it comes to this idea of someone using leverage in a predatory way, so if they have all say so, you have nothing at all. When someone introduced you the idea of 50-50, is that a much more attractive option now than letting someone pay 100% and that way you're trapped in the bind?
And Christopher, they won't answer it.
It's not a bad, but it's not a bad idea if you think about it. Put foundation to the side because if you get with somebody with the right foundation, this is not an issue to worry about. However, do people listen to me? No, but I tend to be right at the end of the day. But let's the entertain those who choose not to listen. If you're going to put up with somebody, if your desire is somebody that pays 100% of the bills, you have to take everything that comes with that. And if you're not ready to take all of that shit that really is built into it, are you willing to put something down just to have one hand on the steering wheel?
And Christopher, see, see, Christopher, see what I'm talking about?
I'm chilling, just trying to listen to what y'all, what y'all opinions on it is. Chris, you can already probably guess my opinion on it, so I don't even really have to speak on it.
I know. Trust me, I know.
But matter of fact, that's intriguing. What you think? What you think my opinion on this is?
Boy.
What'd you say?
I said, go ahead. I'm talking to someone else also.
Your take on this is probably going to be real simple regarding when it comes to if you was to personalize it, you will want to be in a relationship where you have full control, so that way no one can have one up over you, and no one's going to blindside you. So your objective is to make sure that you have 100% full control of your relationship, so that way you could then dictate the outcome.
Uh, I, I, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not paying all the bills, honestly.
Okay.
But
Go.
I get what you're saying though. But I do like
Why
that.
would you though? Why would you? Like, let's be real, let's be honest here. Let's take the bullshit talking points of every married man being paying 100% of the bills. We are in 2026, right? Let's take the bullshit narratives out of the equation that our grandfathers used to have to break their fucking backs, die in an early grave. Why would you want to, one, as a man, why would you want to, I don't want to necessarily say take on a lazy partner, right? Because I don't want to be that disingenuous to the conversation. Why would you, as a man, not want to have all the help you can get for the household to flourish? And as a woman, why would you not want to help the household flourish? Like, literally every statistical category tells you that households do better when it's when it's a dual person income. Every single statistic tells you this. So why are we not saying not you three? Because I agree with what you said. I'm not marrying nobody that don't plan on fucking working, right? But why do people get so? Why are they so dead set on going against the fucking numbers? The numbers literally tell you dual income households typically do better than single income households.
Hey,
And that's in
fellas.
all aspects of the relationship. That's financially, it translates over to the children, it translates over to how the children are raised, it translates over to uh, 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 the happiness of everybody, because guess what? More income means, guess what? A little bit more freedom in the travel department, right? Two people working typically means, hey, we get to at least take a trip once or twice a year, an annual trip at that, right? This is things that people typically fight over. But because a lot of people are so conditioned to think, oh, the man is supposed to be the only one working and the woman is supposed to be just the stay at home and do whatever. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. I didn't work all of COVID and the year after COVID, and I had a
Oh,
six.
Trey.
My son was 6 months old
Hey,
going
Trey, let me
into
get in here real quick. Fellas, take care of the room. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take care of something, but y'all run the room.
that. Yeah, my son was 6 months old going into. I had my son from the time he was 6 months old until he was 3 years old, and I didn't work for 2 of those years. And I tell you, that was the easiest shit ever. But not having to work was the easiest thing ever. My, like the place ain't never, my house ain't never dirty, right? If my child does mess up some shit, when he was a baby, it was nothing to pick it up and clean it up. But then once he got a little older, he started to understand, to put his own shit up where it goes. I really just don't see where a quote unquote housewife is that much fucking work, right? But you want the man to break his back every fucking day.
Bro, yeah, these conversations, it's not new. This shit is old, bro. They've been doing this shit since a while, bro. See, here's one of the perspectives is that the man just want full control over the woman, bro. She gonna have to do everything he tell her to do. She gotta fully submit in a way that men deem as feminist, not feminism, as being to the man because that allows her to rest in her true femininity by not working the jobs, then coming on home and continue to work in home by cooking, cleaning, and doing all that extra stuff. It takes a toll on them emotional, sweet as well when they're doing all that extra stuff compared to the man just working in their home. Because when they're doing all that stuff and they emotionally drained or physically drained, bro, that's when you're gonna start getting the pushback. That's when they're gonna start cussing you out, talking about no. You tell her to do something, she be like, no, you do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And she, it's gonna seem like she got some nuts hanging down there and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why, bro. But in today's society, I don't. It just, I hear them keep saying that bullshit, talking about oh, men need to pay 100% of the bills. But guess what? The women has fought to get these jobs and stuff, and claiming that it's not like how it was with their grandma and grandpa, where the women is just sitting there home doing all this shit. You have fought for this right to go ahead and work, and now you're gonna utilize that to your best ability. That making money, statuses, taking position in the corporate businesses and all these other things, and got your own CEO business and shit. But all of a sudden, you tell me you want to sit back and let the man do everything instead of expressing and fully taking advantage of the rights that your sisters, your auntie, and them fought in order to get, so y'all can take advantage of? I don't think so, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't let that pink pill and all the other bullshit fool y'all, man. They talking about they really want to stay at home and not do shit, but they still want to take advantage of the rights that's been allotted to them about making these money and all that shit so you can actually look at it here on their chest as well. So it is what it is, though.
See, the major issue I have with what you said is not with what you said, it's with people that think like you, because I know you disagree with it. Historically speaking, and we all black in here, so I'm more speaking to the black community. Historically speaking, black women were never afforded the luxury, quote unquote, to just stay at home while married. 60 to 70% of black women that were married had a job, and this goes back to as far as the 60s and the 50s. Whether they were housekeepers, nurses, teachers, they had a job, some sort of income. Most of them were maids and housekeepers. Most of them were that. Few of them were teachers. A lot of them were nurses. A lot of them were, I don't want to call them public servants. Well, yeah, let's say that public assistance figures, right? A lot of them were that. But somehow in 2026, people think that traditionally speaking, black women, because again, we're all black in here, so let's only speak to the black community. We think that black women traditionally stayed at home barefoot and pregnant. Like, no, no, that wasn't the case. Y'all grandmas worked. Y'all granddaddies worked. You know? Now, your granddaddy came home, he gave, when your granddaddy came home Friday, he gave your grandma and your great grandma. Them niggas, they gave their checks to their wife, and their wife handled all the bills and shit. And that nigga went to the refrigerator, grabbed a beer, and was a lazy, and was, I ain't gonna call him lazy, because the nigga, he worked. But at home, the nigga was very uninvolved. All he had to do is raise his voice a couple of times. So if you really want to go back to the traditional sense of how the black household or the black nuclear family was raised, guess what? You're gonna have to get a job. You're gonna be the one taking care of the vast majority of the housework. And that man, as long as he got a full-time job, hey, guess what? He gonna do the same. He get to do the same shit your grand. He can do the same thing your granddaddy and your great granddaddy did.
Yeah, that
He
shit.
would just go to work, come home, sit on the couch, and then wait till dinner done.
Yeah, but you see, when you speak about those talking points, bro, if you have women in here, that's when the shaming tactics come in. Are you talking about, oh, you got to get a job and work because y'all lazy ass niggas, I can't do nothing. Y'all can't get high paid wages to afford your women to stay at home and be in their true femininity, but turn around and complain when they give you pushback. You see, now you can't win on either side, bro. No matter what you say, makes sense or whatever, bro. It's always going to be some kind of caveat. You try to we're doing good. And you are doing good, and you are taking control of the household and shit like that. That's the best things. You're not gonna win on either side, man. I heard all this. Cool, bro. I'm doing tough. I also find it funny that nobody grandma worked. When you had these conversations with a lot of women, I'm telling you, nobody grandma worked. Everybody grandma was at home barefoot and pregnant. Nobody grandma had a job. Nobody grandma was cleaning houses. Nobody grandma was any of these things. I think everybody grandma was just at home, barefoot and pregnant, doing laundry, watching the kids.
All right, y'all, I'm back. My apologies to An and Minnie. I'll just have to step away, but I'm back now. So, welcome. How you guys doing? You off mic? Minnie, you there? Okay, I think he's having an audio problem. Trey, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, I think An just had some audio issues. He'll be right back. And I forgot to drop the link on YouTube right now, and Twitch and Facebook. Oops. I don't know if that was right link. Let me try that again. Oh, update your update the app because they got a new update. Just in case if that's what it is, because I had to do that this morning and my audio started working. So update your app and it should be working fine. But
Still can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
yeah, I think On needs to update the app. That's what it is. He needs to update the app. And let me go ahead and pin this link to the top. All right.
One thing that I do know about uncle is that we start giving a financial literacy class. What literacy class when you come up with because we start talking about investment, living shit, anything they got to do with get prepared.
Oh no, there was ever I have zero. I could chime in on any topic he wants to. I'm all good with it. Hey, Ani, you can pull up, sweetheart. It's a safe room, I promise. But yeah, I would definitely like to hear his take on this topic. Let me do a quick reset. BTSI show me host Christopher J. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Clubhouse. Please like, share, subscribe. And also on the YouTube side, just a reminder, we are 8 subscribers away from 1,000. Once we reach that goal, we can finally do this Cash App giveaway episode. All right, are you there?
Damn, I had to restart my motherfucking phone. Shit.
Yep, there you go. We're good now. So, the title, Men Pay All the Bills. Is this a bad investment for women? Because we don't have to go far. We can go back to last week, Thursday, because this is part 2 of Thursday's room. Harriet told us an incident where she had a dude where he said, I'm gonna need you to do this for me, and I'm also need you not to do this for me. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about your past relationships. I don't want to hear nothing about your exes, and you need to be there for me emotionally, spiritually, etc., etc. She did all of that. But guess what? A relationship is a two-way street because a woman needs all of that as well. His response is, I pay all the bills, so I don't have to hear all that from you. So, with that being said, if this is what paying all the bills look like, is this a bad investment for women? Especially given how they were boisterous about the idea of not paying 50-50. Well, at least 50-50, you have your hands on the wheel. If you don't pay anything, you have no hands on the wheel, and you're gonna be put in a situation where this is a one-sided relationship. Is this what you want to be in as a woman? It's totally up to you. I'm just highlighting each options, the outcomes that comes from it, and now go back and rethink some of your past conversations that you had on these platforms, and ask yourself, now that you have full context, do you still believe in what you stated previously?
Well, I'll come at it. I'll come. I guess I'll probably end up being the oddball. Um, watch how many people come in this space and be if they're not insular, they're definitely be financially literate. In this conversation, they're gonna try to say it's more than just money and blah blah blah. They're gonna say all that shit. I'm getting this out the way. Mark my words. Okay. Now, it is a bad investment for the woman. It is a bad investment for the male. It is a bad investment for the home for one income to in this economy where the spending power is decreased. Somebody got hot mic. Where the spending power is decreasing on a monthly basis, damn near daily. It is a horrible. Hey Chris, you got a hot mic.
Oh, I had to keep my mic on because
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's a bad investment for that very reason. You can't as soon as they say, when my parents raised me, when my grandparents, that economy don't exist no more. Right? They have more spending power back then than they do now. You can see here's a reference: CPI inflation calculator. You can put the year, the decade they're talking about, the year they're talking about, and put the first in the first box, and then put in this box. Oh no, put 2026, put 100,000 or 50,000, and then put the year that they talking about, the decade they talking about, and you're gonna see how much less spending power you have today versus then. Right? See, I know Negroes hate numbers. I know. Right? But mark my words, a man or a woman are both from come in the small pocket and try to take it off the math and be insular. Okay? Now, if here's another reason why I say that. If Candy is my wife and it don't matter who makes her. She makes 70, I make 50. The household makes 120,000. You budget off who makes the least. So in this case, let's say it's 70% of 50,000. That's 35,000 a year. That means expenses do not exceed $35,000. 35,000 divided by 120,000 takes that 70% to 29%, meaning the bills of the household compared to 120,000 versus 50,000 is 29%. That means her and I can go 8 or 9 months where nobody has to pay a bill. So we would set up our checking accounts this way. We'll put all the money in the first 3 or 4 months. We'll put each bill times 2 or 3, or 3 or 4, put into this account. Right. By the time we get to the third or fourth month, where the money is set aside for the rest of the year, that frees up the incoming paychecks for 8 or 9 months. Now go invest. Now go take the trips. Before we leave, we don't have any bills to pay before we come back. You see what I'm saying? If I'm with a woman who has a problem with that, it's you on your own. You're a liability in my motherfucking home, as far as I'm concerned. Right? If she try to counter me with sole provider shit when my parents did this, that, and I present this shit to her on a spreadsheet, and she talks about how I feel, she talks about what her parents did in another fucking economy, she's telling me she's not my type. We're done.
Hmm. I have no problem with that.
Come here.
And also, shout out to Cowboy on YouTube. I know people from Clubhouse remember Cowboy from back in the day.
Serious right now. When people come in here and they don't want to have that serious conversation, that's what I'm starting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have my mic muted. My bad. Shout out to Cowboy. I know people from Clubhouse remember Cowboy from back in the day. He says this plays on the idea that men with money are inherently evil. I think he's actually referring to the title, now that I think about it. But given what An just presented to the conversation, that formula will work. Because, like, especially in 2026. So I want to make sure I heard him correctly, because I heard him say this before. Every now and then I try to re-articulate what he said. Um, because hold on, let me type this real quick in the back. Let's see. Mhm. And okay, there. Got. I just my bad. I just sent out that message. So the solution or the question that An was giving, he answered the title. It is a bad investment for women, but it's more so on the financial side. And when you talk about a household, there's an equation on how to do that and how to what up G Swag, how to get to where this benefits both households. Now, An is also talking about you going 8 to 9 months not paying bills a year because you took care of the first 3 or 4 months took care of itself. And if y'all caught what he said, if you're budgeting out the person that makes the least, and you're going off of 70% of their income, that being your house.
That makes the least. 70% who makes the
Yeah,
least.
70% of the person that makes the least. If your bills are surrounded by that 70% of the person that makes the least, then yeah, that will make a lot of sense. To where that's how you get to the idea of going 8 to 9 months a year not paying the bill. So yeah, that does help. That will work. That will work out financially. So I appreciate that.
That's the main situation. So again, I'm gonna be serious now, and then I'm gonna fall back and people don't want to be serious. You know what I'm saying? But if you just did the math, if everybody just did the math themselves regarding the title, it's not beneficial to live off one income. Even if she has her own income and she makes more than you or whoever makes more, right? You're not gonna maximize what the household can achieve going off what the household makes. And that removes, well, I'm the breadwinner, you need to follow me. She can't throw in your face she make more money than you because she don't make more than the household. And then if you're the man coming up with this idea, you're still paying your bills every month. This way, neither one of us is paying our bills every month. Look how much more money we have to invest. Look how much we don't have. Okay, we can take a trip in August because we've made up for the money we pay in taxes by our gains off our investments. So now, before we go take this trip, even with our investments, we make up for the money we spend on our trip. You see what I'm saying? So we maximize every our phone things, we're able to maximize that type of shit, right? And then we have a little bit extra left over to mutual funds, Roth IRAs, and so on and so forth, life insurance policies and stuff like that, right? Now, if we take a trip, we don't have a bill due before we leave. We're less likely to have a bill due when we come back. Plus, our investments is outpacing the interest rates on our debt and on the amount of money we're paying in taxes. That's a win-win to me.
Right. No, I would say so. Um, on we got Cowboy on my YouTube stage on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Cowboy, what's up, man?
Oh, what's up? What's up?
Chilling, chilling, man. What you got for the title?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm 100% correct. You know, but the way the title is running is like suddenly these women are in danger if a man, you know, is the one paying all the bills, and that's like a feminist mindset that's come about as of late. You know, where don't ever let a man be in charge of anything, which is kind of an oxymoron because they want us to, they want us to lead, but then they don't want us to lead. They want us to pay the bills, but then, you know what I'm saying? So the whole lack of trust thing, it just doesn't work. It's never going to work. That just doesn't work with any kind of relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, business relationship, however. Now I understand not putting all your eggs in one basket. You need a backup plan. The way explains a lot of this stuff, that there's backup plans built in, and that so you're gonna have to depend on each other one way or another. But just the way the title's written is just like the whole Girl, don't rely on him. You need an exit strategy, you know. And I it's not just an American thing. I'm noticing this kind of mindset in other countries also with women. You know, China being a whole big deal with the whole bride price and all that stuff. These women actually have men giving them money ahead of time just so they can stack it so that they can leave anytime they feel like it. So it's kind of becoming a worldwide, a modern, you know, relationship problem, you know, when I'm looking at it.
So nothing wrong with what you're saying, because also one thing I stated earlier, if we're talking about two people who are having the same foundation coming together, this is a non-conversation, obviously. So it don't matter who pays all the bills, who pays the bills. Would it be 50-50, 70-30, 60-40, or 100-0? It doesn't matter. You guys got the same foundation. No one's gonna misuse anybody. You don't have to worry about no radical feminist talking points with what a cowboy is alluding to. So and also given that it's a radical feminist cowboy, that's why those are one of the extremes, because I don't think you know who Harriet is anyway, but it will Thursday brought to our attention that she was in a relationship where a man paid 100% of the bill, and the sole purpose was for her to cater or acquiesce to him, and this not be a two-way street when it comes to a relationship, which might play a part to why Harriet is who she is today, but we still love her. So given what we was talking about last week, Cowboy, last week Thursday, about 100%, if you pay 100%, you get cheated on the most. Granted, that's not accurate because we was able to debunk that. To if you pay at least 70%, you're gonna get cheated on, and it varies between genders. Now we're in the state where you pay all the bills. Is this a benefit to you because you have essentially you have no hands on the wheel? And if that's the case, was the idea about paying 50-50 or utilizing the formula that Unjust presented, what's wrong with going down that road? And also keep in mind, this 100% bills being paid is technically a new concept. I forgot how old it is, but it ain't been around that long.
What? Wait a minute. See, I missed the. So you guys had a show with the idea that depending on how much a man supports the household, it actually affects how he's getting whether he's cheated on or not. Am I was I hearing that right?
I got you. The study showed that whoever pays 70% of the bills, at least 70%, they tend to get cheated on more times than not. If a man pays 100% of the bills, women cheat 5% more. If women pay all the bills, men cheat 15% more. But those are just numbers at the end of the day. We later got into the actual foundation of it doesn't really matter how much money someone pays.
Yo, dude,
there's something internal going on.
I'm rolling over here.
What you mean?
Yo, you guys run around like, yo, if I pay all the bills, she gonna cheat. Well, when they talk about idle hands, I'm sure you've heard of like elders talk about idle hands. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of funny because I always had this mindset that women should work even if the income's not necessary, just to keep her busy. My mindset wasn't that she would be cheating, but she might think that you're cheating. You're working late, this, that, and the third, and then now she doesn't have anything to do except for her imagination to run, And so I was like, if she's busy with projects and stuff, she doesn't have time to necessarily worry about you getting home late. She got to worry about getting home herself, right? Or getting off the computer or whatever she's doing. So, but if the data is showing that if someone is supporting the household more, and now you're giving free time to another person, listen, that's crazy. Like, oh, am I going to do all this free time? I only had a half day. Let me go see if I can find someone else to play around with. That mindset is crazy to me, And so I don't know if you would a cheater, you would a cheater. I mean, there's the people who cheat because that's what they do, and then there's the people who cheat out of opportunity. You know, Men in general are opportunistic cheaters. You know, because women just don't approach. So when they do, it's like, oh my god, and then we have to, it's harder for us to say no. Women go through life saying no. So it's easier for them. But yeah, that's interesting that somebody thought enough about that to study it. But it's funny to me. So now that everyone's going to be afraid of supporting the next person because they're going to think that they're going to cheat when they support them. I
But
mean,
has that not been the idea? Well, at least one of the minimum foundations of the 50-50 conversation. Granted, some dudes are having this conversation because they can't afford to pay all the bills. I'm aware of those guys. And also, you already know my idea of the real idea of 50-50 has nothing to do with finances. But if I was to entertain it, I would say this also plays a part. It's like I'm doing all of this for you, and what am I getting in return? So if I'm going to partake in this relationship, I better not take a total loss. Like you're going to have to chip in and do something else in this relationship. Now, granted, they step on their own point when they say, "I'm gonna need you to do all the housework, and on top of all the things you're supposed to do, you need to also put in a half." While essentially my life stays the same. That's where the points usually fall apart. But prior to that, they want to just so it hurts less. You gotta put some money in.
I mean, somebody should be putting money away. You know, if she's working and I'm working, and and I'm paying 100% of the bills, then she should be stacking money, not spending it. You know, and that's vice versa. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, if she was making enough to pay all the bills, and I'm working, you know, I shouldn't be out, buying rims and grills for my teeth, and like, you see what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's common sense, but it's not common sense to a lot of people. And a lot of people, what they do to really put them in the situations that they're in today, because there are couples out there where they're both making 100 grand a year, and they're broke right now because something went wrong. A lot of people getting laid off and this, that, and the third. And
Right.
people wonder, well, how you broke. It's like, well, they just added their money together and said, oh, we have this buying power, so let's go get the that crappy ass expensive Maserati truck, and let's get this $500,000 house, even though it's not worth that because we're in Georgia. But they want to spend big, and play big. And it's like, that would be acceptable if the universe worked like that, where you're just always going to move up and you'll never move down. But that's not how life works. And so instead of budgeting off of one income, they budget off of both, and their debts become based on both. And financial institutions don't have a problem with, if you're married, to look at both the income. Oh, you guys got a lot of spending power there. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll give you the loan. You know what I'm saying? But just because they'll give it to you doesn't mean you should take it. But again, to me, it's common sense. But to most people, they just don't think that way.
No, they don't. And we heard what Un just said regarding how to properly handle your finances when you're in a relationship. So that way, this could be mutually beneficial. And to do this, and I hear Un say this word a lot. He's the only one that I hear say this word on the app, and that's both parties has to be interdependent on one another. So you're gonna have to rely on your significant other to play her position and vice versa. So that way, this could be, like I said, this could be a non-discussion later. The reason why it is a discussion, because people tend to say one thing, step on their own point, and butcher the next point, and now they looking like a fool at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think about my past relationship and everything, and I think about all the discussions I've had with women before and after that, and it just seems to be a control issue, you know. And so, if you're in this relationship and you're trying to compete for control over whatever, that's going to be a problem, you know. And like I said, like this is not just personal relationships, this is business relationships also. So if you have a business partner and you're competing, for control over the company, your company's going to fail. That's just a fact, you
Right.
know. And so this just always seems to be like some kind of competition, when we talk about this money, instead of just coming at it from, is coming at it from a logical perspective. Like, this is the math. And you're not going to beat the math. 2 + 2 is 4. No matter where you go in the universe, it doesn't matter if you're counting dollars or if you're counting rocks. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? And so you're not going to beat that, but people will throw their feelings into it, and then they think that that's going to trump, the reality. So I don't know where we go from here realistically, because trying to change the minds of grown folks, that's not something I specialize in. I think it's something that you got to kind of start with the children, and once the children have built up to think about money a certain way, then you're off and running. But grown folks, I don't know, man.
Well, and right there, see, Kyle, and I'm glad you said that. We're gonna give it back to the clubhouse stage because Cash just pulled up. See, this is why, although the 21-year-old, the 20-year-olds and up, between the ages of 21 and honestly 20 and 25, they get on my damn nerves. 26, 27, 26 through 29, they shaking off some of that young stupidity. The reason why, as much as I would like for them not to be part of the conversation, I have to, because I agree. Some adults are too far gone. And quite frankly, I need an example of what failures look like so I can point them out to my son and be like, this is exactly what happens when you don't listen to daddy. You're gonna end up like one of them. So one thing I think the ages between 20 and 30, I don't what's what I'm looking for? Not skate.
If you're looking for a failure, you know, to point at, I wouldn't just point at it, but I'd have the conversations. It's
Of
within
course.
it's within the
Oh, it's
job
always
market.
conversations. It's
I
always
mean,
conversations.
there's always the homeless people, but you never know what you get with them. But
Right.
it's the Walmart greeters. It's sometimes the older gentleman that's doing regular security. If you have, and that's why I learned a lot. Yeah, I would, when I used to do security when I got out of high school, and see all these older guys, you know, and I would hear these stories about, yeah, man, I had this opportunity and I messed it up, and they would tell these stories, So that's how I know, like, that's where you're going to. It's the older working class, the elders that are still working. They're going to be the ones to tell you the stories where, hey, you're probably going to want to go left instead of right if you run into this situation.
Right, right. That's what I say. We have to listen. I always still listen to the elders to this day, and those are in their 20s still listens to me. So the word I was looking for is I just lost the word. Gatekeep. There you go. I don't gatekeep conversations of who needs to be in there. Granted, if you're a teenager, sorry. Go find a 20-year-old to listen to you. Yeah, you're not. There should be no reason why you're in the same conversations with me. We're not doing that. But for those between 20 and 30, I don't gatekeep the conversations. You can listen to what we're telling you and take the game, and you go feed that to your community and those younger than you, because they're going to be looking up to you. They're not necessarily going to be listening to me. So I do get your point when you were saying that, Cowboy. Appreciate it. Let's give it back to the clubhouse stage. Cass, how you doing, sweetheart? Oh, still moving buses, so I won't be able to. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm not even watch this. I'm on the floor.
It's all good. Cass is kicking her man out the house. I understand. These things do happen. I understand. I'm just fucking with you guys. Please, please, no evil back chats. Thank you. Um, but yeah, I appreciate what you guys said because oh yeah, I was going to I meant to tell you them conversations that you and I partake in outside of this room. There's not I don't allow that in this room. So trust me, this is a safe space for intellects, not stupid people. I tend to get them kicked out real quick. But yeah, that is what I wanted to. I just wanted people when I was having these conversations, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Hefe, what's good, man? Yeah, ladies, when we having these conversations, I'm always what annoys me is people are looking at this from one perspective, and it's usually the safest way to look at it is, especially when the masses are choosing to articulate from this point. Granted, I call them a bunch of restarts. And for those who don't know, when I say restarts, that's a substitution word for the other R word I'm trying not to say. When it comes to YouTube and Clubhouse, there's a bunch of restarts. And when it comes to this 100% of the bills being paid or 50% of the bills being paid, is always being generated by a couple of restarts who don't know what the hell they're talking about, who don't know how finances work. Quite frankly, they don't even know how the idea of foundation works because you get that part taken care of, you're not going to have a problem in any relationship. But, yeah, what do I know? I'm just a poor black man from Houston who don't know any better. Hefe, what's good, man?
What's good, man? Peace to the room.
Chilling, man. So the topic is man pays all the bills. Is this a bad investment for women? What is your take on it before we go to last call?
Uh, Without any context, I mean, man pays all the bills. Bad investment for women. I mean, I guess it depends. On one hand, you got somebody taking care of all the essential bills. You can kind of live, what some would call like a soft life. But I think on the negative side of that coin is, um, there could be the tendency for some men to use that as leverage to control you, to kind of, get you to do what they want you to do based off the fact that they're paying all the bills and they could turn that faucet off at any time. So that's my initial thoughts on it.
Mhm. All right, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Hefe, because one of the things that we submitted in the conversation, what started out the conversation was a man that pays all the bills has 100% say so, and that leverage can be used against a woman and standpoint to where it's just a one-sided relationship where she has no say so, she's just acquiescing to his needs, which can lead to something being predatory, which also opening up the idea, the 50-50 idea can be a bad idea because at least you have a say so in the matter. But I was able to give us a actual plan or budgeting plan that will work, whether you're in a relationship or not. But it's going to be better when it's a relationship because that's less stress or no stress at all, in my opinion. He said, "Here we go with the nonsense, cowboy. Really, ain't no nonsense, I promise." But I appreciate that, y'all. I really do. And y'all, that was man pay all the bills. Is that a bad investment for the women? I think we all can come to the conclusion it can be a bad investment for a woman, but there is a way for her to navigate this and to where it's a two-way street. Now the playing field is now even. So, quite frankly, if you had the financial literacy, you'll never be in a bad situation, let alone a bad relationship. So, shout out to you guys.